The stream number is the amount of streams I've done total. So if you go through my channel, you'll see like there's several difference. And you'll see that numbers restart, but that's because I restarted streaming on YouTube instead of Twitch.
Hope I never have to use it, but something tells me I will.
Dear Mr. Charles Reed, as you requested, I've researched the outbursts of hysteria and visions in the city of Oakmont, Mass. It turns out that your assumptions were correct. Such cases are indeed more frequent here. Men and women from across the country are drawn to Oakmont, haunted by visions similar to yours. A city drowning, the presence for something great, yet unknown. As luck has it, I believe we have stumbled upon the source of your ailment. The people who might help you with it. Prepare yourself. Then come to Oakmont as soon as you can. I will meet you here to help you on your way. Cordially, Johannes van de Berg. Trophy plate of a strange fish. Looks very lifelike. Ugh.
Never trust a tourist advertisement.
Now get out!
At last, Mr. Charles Reed. What a pleasure to finally meet you in the flesh.
Nice to meet you.
Johannes van der Berg, at your service. I did promise to meet you the moment you arrived.
Ah, much obliged, Mr. Vanderberg. I guess I didn't expect you to mean so literally.
Please call me Johannes. But where are my manners? Welcome to the proud city of Oakmont. Alas, now is not its finest hour, though it is its most important.
That's an eye-catching suit.
Thank you, Mr. Reed. A mere flood is no excuse for one to abandon one's style.
I take it you're a big fan of yellow.
Well, I have a particular weakness for it. Call it a personal quirk.
Reaching Oakmont was no easy task. Most maps I found didn't mark it, and this rickety packet ship is the only one that sailed here. Why is that?
Oakmont is no ordinary place. Its unique geographical position and the flood, a recent natural disaster, make it nigh impossible to reach. But you made it, Mr. Reed. I'm sure the tides of fate would have brought you here one way or another.
Tell me about this flood.
It began 6 months ago. Storms raged for several weeks, and the water has risen ever higher without receding. Now the city is cut off from the mainland. I must say I rather like it, despite the inconvenience. Atmosphere no?
You said you know someone who can help me with my problem. The visions have been getting worse.
Such vividness of dreams is not uncommon here in Oakmont. By chance, the man I spoke of, Robert Throgmorton, is already at the port. He has dedicated a lot of time and effort to investigate this issue. Alas, I fear he has a more pressing matter on his hands.
How can I find Mr. Throgmorton?
Don't worry, you can't miss him. Throgmorton tends to stand out from the crowd.
I'll need a place to lay my head while I'm here. Any recommendations?
Fear not. I've already feathered a nest for you. There's a room in your name at the Devil's Reef Hotel. Here's the key.
Sounds charming.
Don't judge a book by its cover, Mr. Reed.
What's the best way to get around Oakmont? I'd like to drop my things at the hotel.
Most locals go by foot, or by boat. I've got the latter sorted for you. There's one waiting outside the port.
You're too kind, Johannes. Can you steer me towards the Devil's Reef?
Take this map. I've marked the hotel and a few other key places.
Other places? Like what?
You're a private eye, yes? Well, I've highlighted the police station, city archive, newspaper, places you'll need to get to the truth. This city is insular, its ways mysterious. No one will take you by the hand, so you better know where to turn in search of a lead.
How do you fill your days, Mr. Vanderberg?
I host a philosophy club for the like-minded intelligentsia, gathering seeds of thought, like moths drawn to a flame.
Does Oakmont really have much of a market for philosophy these days?
There is no consciousness without pain, Mr. Reed. No better moment for clarity than times of hardship.
Well, that's it for now, I think. Thanks for helping me get my bearings.
No. The pleasure was mine, Mr. Reed.
Oh, before you go,
Oh no.
how can I get in touch with you later?
Don't worry about that.
Oh no.
I'm the kind of man who finds you.
We sinking now, brother. We sinking now.
I don't care about your petty excuses. No one leaves the port until my son is found, and
Monkey.
that is fine.
His monkey.
Excuse me. Are you Robert Throgmorton?
I am, but not interested. Go away.
The name's Charles Reed. I'm a private investigator, just arrived from Boston. I was told you might be able to help me.
Private
Big
investigator, you say? Well, perhaps we can help each other.
If I may ask, what happened to your son?
Why do you care? What's your angle, outsider?
Well, like I said, I'm a
Monkey.
PI. Finding people is kind
Reject
of my
humanity.
specialty.
Return
Is
to
it?
monkey.
Well, Albert was part of a deep-sea expedition I commissioned. This useless fool over here says he found Albert washed ashore in a lifeboat. Says he was barely conscious, out of his mind, talking gibberish in some other language. That he even tried to bite him.
And you don't believe him?
Complete malarkey. I know my Albert. I raised him strong and smart, the best of his kind. It couldn't have been him. Albert's disappearance is the work of Innsmouthers. Mark my words.
I take it you're not the biggest fan of these Innsmouthers.
Those fish-faced freaks have overrun this city since the police burned Innsmouth to the ground. But now, Those filthy migrants occupy half this damned city. The port, Grimhaven Bay, Salvation Harbor, the shells. They are everywhere.
So they're just refugees.
Hardly. They've taken work from the local fishermen. They stir and agitate against us, the Throgmorton family. We are the pillar of this community, not to mention that crime rates have skyrocketed. Simply speaking, they are a big stinking pile of trouble.
Fish are no good.
I've heard you're the man to speak to about visions, outbreaks of hysteria. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it myself.
Another newcomer with another problem. Yes, I know what you speak of.
Can I ask you a few questions?
How dare you? My son Albert is missing, and no one in this Innsmouth-ridden city will do a damn thing. But yes, let's talk about your dreams.
Please forgive the question, but I've never met a man quite like you before.
That's because no man measures up to the Throgmorton lineage. Proud and powerful blood flows through our veins. My father united with a certain royal family, which has blessed all our offspring with these exquisite features.
Monkey evolution.
Mr. Throgmorton, let me help you. I'm rather good at tracking down missing people. I'll find Albert.
What makes you think you can do it? Oakmont is not exactly friendly to new arrivals.
Let's just say I tend to see things that others miss. And anyway, what have you got to lose? Sounds like you could use every man you can get.
Vera. You have a point, newcomer.
Sorry, did you just say Vera? What does that mean?
You had better get used to the Oakmont dialect, outsider. That is, if you want to fit in. It is a fascinating blend. Vera means fine. I was saying, we have a deal.
I see. Thank you. I need to know more about what happened to Albert.
Dane, did you not listen at all? I already told you everything. After leaving on the expedition, Albert was found on the shore in a lifeboat. This fisherman supposedly brought him to the house, and then left to call me. But when I arrived here, my son was nowhere to be seen.
Anything else?
Clearly, something suspicious occurred inside the house. I suggest you stop dawdling and go see for yourself.
You mentioned a lifeboat. Is it still around?
Yes. Face the house, then to the left is a beach that borders a fence. You'll find it there.
Where's the house where this all happened?
For Kay's sake, I thought you were a private eye. We're standing right in front of it.
As much as I'm enjoying the weather, Mr. Throgmorton, it's time for me to get started.
Find my son, newcomer, and be quick about it.
Where's your Oberon, huh, Titania? Where's your Oberon, huh, Titania? Something with this helmet gives me chills. What's wrong with it?
That's one weird ass rat.
Don't do anything stupid, newcomer. And keep your hands where I can see them.
I've said everything I know.
It's supposed to be a
This
rat.
dog mat looks better than the owner's bed.
Rat jamming.
The book is damp and damaged, but clearly well cared for. It would take tremendous effort to move this thing, let alone tossing it over like this.
Let's see what you find, newcomer.
Choo choo. Ahem. I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp.
Yeah, this game plays heavily on insanity, as per the Lovecraftian tradition.
Never seen knives like this before. Masterful work. Seems like Prohibition hasn't affected Oakmont too much. So, that's what an Innsmouther looks like.
Glenna, Nehri, Glenna, Gebhal, Nugulena,
It's, yes, you are a detective, but it more plays on the insanity. As you discover things, you go more and more crazy.
Hello? Hey, can you hear me?
It's a bit like Call of Cthulhu, but more detective work.
What? Who are you? Are you police? I already told them everything.
It's okay. I'm Charles Reed, Private Eye. Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son.
Oh, okay. What do you want?
I want to know what happened here.
It's
Every
technically
detail.
LA Noir with
don't
Cthulhu stuff in it.
Remember much. Me, Paul, and Lewis. We were here. This is our house. Barry was outside on his business. Then he came back carrying Throgmorton's son. He was unconscious, barely breathing. Barry left again to call Mr. Robert.
Then what?
We put the guy in Lewis's room. Then he started to make these horrible sounds and... okay. My head began to burst. And he woke up. And after that, I don't remember a thing. Just dreams. Drowned streets, a sleeping giant, a voice that called me...
That sounds familiar. Tell me about yourself.
Name's Will Hammond. I'm a fisherman. We all are. Live here together. Me, poor fella Paul, Barry, and Innsmouther Lewis Flynn. We moved here after the flood. I worked on the railroad, but the rail ain't kicking anymore, so I started fishing. It was at or starve.
Where are all the other guys?
That's Paul there on the floor. Kay be with him. Barry's outside with Mr. Throgmorton. Lucky rascal missed everything. And I have no idea what Lewis or Throgmorton's son got to. Starting to suspect the worst.
Do you know how Paul died?
I don't know. When I pulled myself together, he was already gone. Kay have mercy on his soul.
Who is this K you keep mentioning?
Outsider, show some respect. Kay is our lord, our light, our love.
Sorry, I didn't know. I'll leave you to it. Take care of yourself, Will.
Please, Detective, sir, tell me the truth. Could it be me? Did I kill Paul? Or, okay, did I kill him?
I don't know yet, Will. The police will stop anyone coming in or out of here, so I suggest you just try and get some rest.
I'm afraid of what I might dream. What's happening?
Take this, ape-face. Yeah, run!
Okay, let's see what we have here.
Take this. Yeah, run!
When Albert Throgmorton woke up, he was not himself. He attacked the fishermen, and his hysteria spread to them. When he got wounded, he fled. There was a fierce fight here, but someone tried to flee. So the fishermen pursued Albert, even let off a few shots. There was a fierce fight here, but someone tried to flee. So the fishermen pursued Albert, even let off a few shots. Even though Albert was wounded, he managed to climb that high. Robert wasn't exaggerating when he said he raised him strong. There's something in the pocket.
Lewis, please, just give me one more week. I know I owe you, but I'm underwater like everyone else right now. I don't yet have enough stock to operate the bar smoothly, with the fuzz snooping about the port. But don't worry, I struck a nice deal with the proper people, and should have steady supply channel soon. Just one more week and I'll return everything with double interest. Peter.
One fatal round through the forehead. That's no accident. This was deliberate.
It's arms with a mouth. In other words, it is not normal.
Stay alert! Monsters lurk underground. They're everywhere.
Ugh, I'll miss the carpenter's food giveaway with this darn port closure.
Welcome to Under the Keel. What do you want?
I'm looking for a man by the name of Lewis Flynn. Any chance he's here?
Yeah. Even if I knew, I don't rat to newcomers.
Robert Throgmorton hired me to investigate his son's disappearance. I found the note about your debt to Lewis near his cold, dead body. And it looks like Lewis murdered Robert's kid. You want him to come here and ask instead of me?
What?
Don't what me. At best, you're harboring a criminal. At worst, you're an accessory to murder.
What? No. I ain't done nothing.
Tell that to Mr. Throgmorton.
No. No. Throg. Lewis is upstairs. Here's the key.
Smart man. There's your good deed for the day. I've seen some unsettling creatures around. Like nothing I've ever encountered. What are they?
So you met a wild beast, newcomer. No one knows what they are, but consider yourself lucky to still be in one piece. They arrived in the flood. Some say they come from the sea. Others that they are Kay's punishment for us.
And what do you say?
If it bleeds, you can kill it. Keep your gun handy. And if you want to erase the memory, I sell a perfect cure right here. Remember, better to be a coward and live than brave and dead. Unless you're a newcomer.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, who are you? What are you doing?
Charles Reed, private investigator. Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son Albert, so I think you know why I'm here.
Throg. That darn bartender. It was all that crazy ape's fault. You hear me?
Calm down. I only want to speak, for now. But no, if you reach for your gun, you'll hit the floor faster than you can say poetic justice.
I got nothing to hide.
Start at the beginning. What happened?
We were in our house, me, Paul, and Will. Barry'd gone to the sea. So I told him that it would only bring bad luck. If he'd listened to me, we'd all still be alive.
Come on, Lewis. Focus.
Right. Well, Barry dragged that damn ape to our house. He was bragging about how much Mr. Throgmorton would give us for saving his son. But that ape, he was out cold. Then woke in an instant and started screaming, attacking us. After that, can't remember a thing.
You shot to kill. No warning, no second chances. You pursued Albert even after he fled. Why?
I can't remember it. When he woke, it was like a bloody mist descended over me. First thing I recall after is that darn warehouse and me covered in blood. I had no idea what happened.
Yeah, Fishman definitely did
it had
it.
something to do with that ape. Turns out, I was right.
What kind of... why do you... Your face, it's...
Throgmorton's and Innsmouth have a feud.
So you're here to attack me just because I look different to you?
My guess is he did kill him.
Spit on me, whisper to your friends? What's new?
No, I'm sorry. I didn't know how to ask. I've just never met someone like you before. I didn't mean any offense.
Innsmouther's bodies were blessed by the sea. You're gonna see a lot of us here, so you better get over it. We are proud of who we are.
The things you did to Albert don't look like a bloody rage. A fatal shot to the head, a hidden body. One might start to wonder if it was deliberate.
I don't know what to say. I wasn't myself.
I hear there's a bit of a feud between the Innsmouthers and the Throgmortons. Care to fill me in?
Those apes hated us from the moment we arrived in Oakmont. Our home was destroyed. We just needed a place to stay. The Blackwood Grand family sheltered us, but others were not as hospitable. We needed jobs, food, and medicine. The city denied it all.
And so?
We had to fight for every crumb of bread. And those Throgmortons in their high castle only made our life harder, always conspiring behind our backs, always setting people against us. I'd love to see them suffer like we suffered.
You mentioned a grand family. What do you mean?
So you're a newcomer, huh? Explains a lot.
Yeah, a newcomer with a gun. Answer the question.
Okay. People here are crazy about bloodlines and tradition and reputation. The head honchos of Oakmont called the Grand Families. There's the Carpenters, who control most of the city's underworld, the Blackwoods, who share kin with Innsmouthers through the Marsh family.
And let me guess, the Throgmortons.
Right, those filthy apes. Now that most of the Blackwoods are gone, there's nobody left to protect us Innsmouthers.
I think I've got all I need.
Please, Mr. Reed, don't tell Throgmorton about me. I know I'm in no position to ask. I didn't want to do whatever it is I did. Honest, have mercy, please. I have a family. Without me, they'll starve.
This is not exactly cut and dry. I need some time to think.
Perhaps I can offer something to grease your grinds. I still have a few bullets on me.
You think you're the first person to offer me a bribe?
Please, Mr. Reed.
Now, don't try my patience further, Mr. Flynn.
Yeah. He's a dead man, though.
Mr. Throgmorton, I've encountered something,
What? I don't have all day.
some unusual creatures, and they sure weren't friendly.
You've seen a wild beast, Mr. Reed. I'm somewhat surprised to see you still alive. Those unsettling things appeared after the flood. I've commissioned a few studies on them, but we know little more than when we started. They're aggressive, but fortunately not immune to gunfire.
Yeah, I learned that firsthand.
Try to avoid them when possible.
Use the shovel.
And when you can't, keep your weapons handy.
Mr. Throgmorton, I'm afraid I have bad news.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I found your son in the basement of a nearby warehouse. I'm sorry, but he was murdered. Shot in the head and the body hidden.
No. It cannot be true. No, no, no. I don't believe it. No.
I've tracked down your son's murderer.
Where? Who is he?
And just as I suspected, the Innsmouther Lewis is responsible for your son's murder. He's hiding at the local bar. Just ask the bartender. Seems like he had a bone to pick with your family and took it out on Albert.
Oh, that scum won't be getting off easy. The whole city shall see what happens when you cross the Throgmortons. Justice, bittersweet as it is, shall be served. It's rare for a newcomer to make himself so useful. Thank you.
Mr. Throgmorton, I hate to press you, but do you think you could help me now?
Yes, you've earned it. Kay, to think a newcomer barely off the boat solves a crime the police couldn't, but I digress. Remind me, what brought you to Oakmont?
I think I'm going mad, Mr. Throgmorton. I see things, visions, and I needed to stop. I was drawn here, or guided, or I don't know. But I believe the source of this madness is here, in Oakmont.
You're not wrong, Mr. Reed. An inexplicable hysteria spread through Oakmont after the flood. I funded an expedition to explore recent geological activity that may be responsible.
A geological expedition? I'm not sure I follow.
I have reason to believe the flood and this madness have the same source. As above, so below. So I sent men to find out.
Do these cases of hysteria involve shared visions as well?
Since the flood, many Oakmonters have had similar nightmares. Indeed, Professor Doe, the expedition leader, complained of them herself.
Waterlogged ruins with unnatural architecture. A sleeping giant, drowned streets, and a voice calling from the depths.
Her words exactly. She proposed the expedition, desperately wanting to find the cause.
You mentioned the flood. You think it's more than just a natural disaster.
You weren't here, Mr. Reed. What happened defied scientific explanation.
Has your expedition found anything?
I do not know. Albert was part of it. His passing cannot be coincidence. Why was he alone at the port? And where are the others?
You think your son was killed because the expedition uncovered something?
Is it so hard to believe? I had no news for a week, then Albert, the only one I could trust, comes ashore and is killed.
It does sound suspicious.
Mr. Reed, I want you to find out what's going on. I expect you're as interested in the expedition's results as I am.
If I'm going to look into this, I'll need to know more. Where should I start?
I'll give you the address of the expedition's headquarters and a key.
That's all you can tell me?
Let me be clear, Reed. You do not speak to me like that again.
I'm sorry, Mr. Throckmorton. I just meant the more I know, the better.
I am a busy man. I funded the research, but
What?
left all preparations to Professor Doe and Albert. When you finish,
Wizard.
come see me at the Throgmorton family manor. It's in Old Grove. Here, I'll show you.
Magic.
What about my expenses?
They will be reimbursed after you complete your task. And of course, you've earned some compensation for your work here at the port. I'll also include a fair advance in bullets.
Bullets?
The dollar lost its use here, Mr. Reed. After the flood, Oakmont returned to bartering. Bullets mean more than bills.
Bang. Yeah, they say that these creatures are weak to gunfire, but it's almost more effective to go in melee combat. America. Drim.
Crew of the Cyclops. Semper Fortis, brothers. Crew of the Cyclops.
I don't know what exactly sank the USS Cyclops. I only remember the screams and the metal creaking, water filling the deck, and my headache, the worst I've ever had. I found myself among the floating seaweed, drowning. A nearby piece of boat helped me survive. I reached the shore of a small island. They found me on it later, starving, half mad, babbling about ancient ruins and their denizens. The officials said none of what I thought I had seen was real, but my memories were true. My strange powers, gained after the ordeal, prove it. I found something horrible on that island, something old and dark and slithering. It still haunts me. Dear Mr. Reed, I understand you are a private eye that caught the murder at the port. My life is in danger, and I cannot trust anyone in the city. Please come to my room, which is the opposite of yours. I am in despair. My studies have drawn the attention of vile forces. They stalk me, and will take me soon. I have to cast my lot, and am beyond saving. But the 7 books must be saved at any cost. Even if I'm gone, find my notes there. This knowledge must not be lost, as it could be our kind's last hope of enlightenment. Please be the bearer of this light, for I have failed. All that we see or seem is just a dream within a dream.
Never again, they say. No matter how much of this I chug down, the visions always return.
The number of attacks on the Innsmouth immigrants has increased. Raids are intensifying, with more and more Innsmouthers exposed to abuse and assault. Sometimes whole families are found dead in their houses. Police are on the case, with several illegal Innsmouthers' businesses captured and their owners sent to jail. This city ought to have been clean of this fish-faced scum long ago, said Robert Throgmorton, head of the Throgmorton Grant family. I regret only one thing. It all started too late. Had we not neglected our civic duties, my son Albert would still be here with us. Mr. Reed, it seems you overexerted yourself while conducting the investigation for Mr. Throgmorton. Please forgive me for the audacity, but I brought you here to Devil's Reef while you were unconscious. Please take more care of yourself in the future. I won't be there for you every time, Johannes. I'm just gonna leave it there so anyone who wants to read it later can read it. King in yellow. Is that who we're dealing with?
The door won't budge. Makes this place feel more like home. I miss Boston already.
Finally, you're awake. Gotta tell you, though, mister, you want to stay on here, you stop making all that noise.
Noise? What noise are you talking about?
I expect my guests to be respectable. Moans, chanting, all that kind of thing. It stops, all right?
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't really remember what happened, but I'll do my best.
Yeah? Well, next time it happens, you end up sleeping under the bridge like the other newcomers.
You're not exactly friendly with your guests. Are we the ones keeping you in business?
All these newcomers after the flood, they're stark raving mad.
What do you mean?
You can't imagine the crazy notes and books I find after they move out. Only thing they're good for is lighting the kitchen stove.
Can I have a look?
I knew it. I tell you, no one sane would be interested. And you want to take a look? Well, fine. Take what you wish. I'm watching you, newcomer.
Now will watch me loot your fucking home.
Extra, extra. All the news that's fit to print. Buy a paper, mister? Extra, extra. All the news that's fit to print.
The old papers are by the door. Take them and stop bothering me already.
I think you've got me confused with someone else.
Aren't you a newcomer?
Help me out here. What's the connection between newcomers and old newspapers?
It's cold sleeping in the street, and they come to collect the old newspapers for warmth.
Yeah, I guess I am a newcomer. Charles Reed, private investigator. And I also need your old newspapers, the archive, to be exact.
Ah, so you're the one who cracked the Albert Throgmorton murder case. Nice work. I'm Helen Bland. Say, can you do me a favor? Give me an exclusive interview. You won't regret it. The Oakmont Chronicle is the best newspaper for miles around.
All right, I'll be sure to make some time for you, Miss Bland. Do you still want that interview? I got some time now, if you're ready.
Oh, absolutely. We know that you're the private eye who solved the case, but tell our readers something more about yourself.
I'm a former Navy diver. Served on the USS Cyclops, and after the war, I found myself in Boston. I've been a private eye ever since.
Oh, a brave sailor. Well, I imagine you'll get accustomed to local life easily. We have plenty of water around here. Maybe we'll have the chance to work together later. Who knows? And now the big question. Why are you here? What brought you to Oakmont?
Currently, I'm tracking down the source of the psychic phenomenon that's been causing madness and visions all across the country.
Ah, yes. It affected people here, but we were much more concerned with the flood. Though Robert Throgmorton sent an expedition.
Yeah, and then hired me to find it. Ironic, don't you think?
I think that's enough for now. I can't give the readers too much all at once. Thank you for your interview, Mr. Reed.
My pleasure. And maybe I'll do something interesting enough to make the papers again. You never know. See you later.
Extra, extra. Excuse me? That's a lot of ammunition.
Hello, officer.
Well, look who finally decided to show up. If it ain't Charles Reed, the genius that cracked the case of Albert Throgmorton. Captain Caleb Lyons at your service. What can we simpletons do to assist you, Mr. Holmes?
Do you and I have a problem, officer?
No. Aside from making everyone in the Oakmont Police Department look like idiots, let me be frank, newcomer. You ain't welcome. You slip up, don't cross a T or dot an I, and I'll treat you like every other criminal here.
Okay. Well, can I use the police archive in the meantime?
You can, but only because of Mr. Throgmorton's patronage. And heed me well, you're on mighty thin ice, and I'll be under it when it breaks.
patient or visitor? Hold on. Let Dr. Grant guess.
A visitor. Though you are a bit pale, you don't have a headache, do you?
My head? No complaints, I'm good.
Well, you're the exception these days. We're simply overflowing with patients.
It looks like hard work in these conditions. You need a hand?
Well, yes, actually. But it may result in close contact with the wiles. Is that going to be a problem?
I'm prepared to face men and beasts alike. Count me in.
Ah, I can see it in your eyes. Well, I have taken it upon myself to study the wild beasts, but need more data to confirm two of my hypotheses. One concerns the multi-handed creatures, and the other the vomiting humanoids.
Those hideous wretches seem almost human. But what could turn one into such a monstrosity?
Jim Bells, a patient of mine, was admitted to hospital with symptoms resembling cholera, but he turned into one of those things. Incredible. Here's the address. Find out what happened.
What have you found out about the multi-handed beasts?
One of my patients saw them in his nightmares before the flood. I can't visit him, but he must know something. Here's his address.
Bye.
Be safe. We don't have any free beds left.
I'm not in the mood for chit-chat, Mr. Reed.
Guess I don't need the key. Someone smashed it beyond repair. Are a few damp papers all that's left of the expedition? Are a few damp papers all that's left of the expedition? Can't say I ever saw another shell like it. These samples glitter in a weird way. I wonder where they came from.
We don't have time to pick it. Stand back.
Grab the papers. Smash the rest.
I fatah me fe I regach I dagon.
Burn it all. Make sure you get the adverts.
Time to figure this out.
We don't have time to pick it. Stand back.
Grab the papers. Smash the rest.
I fatah. Me fe I
Burn it all. Make sure you get the adverts.
Several men broke into the expedition headquarters. What they didn't smash, they burned. The archives, even the newspapers.
Stay safe.
Extra, extra. All the news that's fit to print. Buy a paper, mister?
staring? Get that rock out. Quit staring, newcomer. Get that rock out of here. Quit staring, newcomer. Get that rock out of here.
Ah! Ah! Thank Kay. At last. Hey, help! Help!
What's going on?
Sea creatures. Swarmed over the piers. I hid here, but these walls won't stand up to them. Please help me.
What creatures? What are you talking about?
Wild beasts. They came to feast on the blood. They're eating the dead.
I'm looking for Captain Sanders. Is he here in the port? Did the creatures get him?
I saw Sanders. Help me. I'll tell you what I know.
Emptied every chamber. Still stinks of burnt powder. Shot dead. Point blank. The monsters sure didn't leave behind much. Gotta be out of your head to do this to a man. Cape Cod. There were marks here, but they've been erased. This would be a weird artifact in any collection. Gotta be out of your head to do this to a man. I've dealt with the creatures. Now, tell me about Sanders.
He got back several hours ago. Those things, they came because of him.
What happened on the Titania?
It was horrible. A damn massacre. I heard the shots. I went out. I saw the whole thing. Sailors bleeding, dying. Blood hit the water, and then, well, then the wild beasts came to feast.
This Sanders. What kind of man is he?
Newcomer. He seemed like a decent guy. Okay, Captain. Treated his crew well.
I gotta find Sanders. Where is he?
Saw him get away. Just after the shooting. Ran for the pier. Didn't see where he went after that.
Did you see anyone else from the expedition?
No. Only Sanders. I'd bet my life no one else made it back.
door won't budge.
You're the man who handled the problems in the port. Seemed like a sharp sleuth. Want to make something on the side?
You pay, I work. What's the job?
Ah, a fellow businessman. I'm Vincent, but you can call me Vince. First task is to find the ship's log for the Pride.
Charles Reed. A few questions, if I may.
Sure.
Why are you looking for a ship log?
Maybe I'll tell you when the job is done. Right now, you don't need to know.
In my line of work, you don't get far without appreciating the need for privacy. I understand. What can you tell me about the Pride? I'm gonna need somewhere to start.
Mostly rumors. The captain was an exemplary patriot. Always had a flag with him. His last shipment may have been chemicals in metal barrels.
It could be resting on the seabed 1,000 miles away. What makes you think it can be found?
I wouldn't waste my money on you unless I had hope. Local drunkards say they saw the barge on the sunken road near the fish market.
Good. I'll check the place and bring you the Pride's ship log if it's still there. See you later.
You look tense, honey.